Hi, this is me, Maggie Larimore, and I'm standing in front of the Azire Learning Center in Second Life. The information on how to get here is in the description. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to set up books so that people can buy them. So this is a recommended book list tutorial. Hold on a second, let's go inside. So my learning center has been in Second Life since the fall of 2009, and we're in the process of remodeling it. One of the things that I'm doing here at the back end of my learning center is setting up a bookshelf of recommended books. Now I want people to be aware of the titles of the books. I want them to get some information about the book, and I also want them to be able to buy it and to have enough information to go to their local library in real life and take out a copy, borrow a copy. In order to do this, you're going to need a prim, which is a primitive, a little box. You'll see that in a sec. You're going to need a texture. You're going to need a script maker, and you're going to need the URL where you can find information and possibly a way to buy the book. And then I'm going to tell you how to do this a little bit more quickly so that you can use what you've already done to make the next one. So I've moved the frame because one of the first things you want to do is you want to click on Build menu, and this is okay for us. We want to have a little cube. There's the wand, and you drag it down to the floor and let it build. Now you need to know what kind of dimensions you want this to have so that all of your book covers on your recommended book list are the same size. So we're going to click on Edit on one that already exists. You see, you always want to put in the name of the book. You want to click on Show and Search so people can find it, and a description if you want to, and then you go and you take a look at the size and the dimensions. So we see that the book cover that already exists, it is on the x-axis 0.03, on the y 0.6, and on the z 0.8. So that's what I'm going to do to this guy. We have 0.03, whoops, we have 0.6, and we have 0.8, and now it's the same size as the other one. The next thing we want to do is pull it up out of the floor so that you can see what you're doing, and you want to go to texture, and you want to give it, either make it blank or give it a color. So I'm just fine with blank. I would like to make a recommendation for a book called First Sight, which is written by James Carpenter, who's a psychologist, and it's a really nifty book about seemingly psychic experiences. So here we have First on Amazon, so we're going to go and take a look at that. And yep, this is the book we want. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go all the way up, ooh, and we're going to make a copy of the location of this book. So this is a really good place to put it. Now, the next thing you want to do, because you don't want to lose some of these URLs that you're getting, is you're going to open up a Word doc or some other kind of thing that you like, whatever you use, and you're going to save the information that you have for this book there. And you may want to use something else there as well, like a description of the author or his website or something, but this is the first one that we're going to do. So I'll build up this information thing and then I'll come back to you. So I've been searching on the internet for information that I might want to give people when they click on the book cover and get the recommendation for the book. So for instance, let me move this over so you can see this. I have found the Amazon listing of the book. I found the website that's just for the book and about the book that I want to recommend. I found a article on the book section of HuffingtonPost.com that's about the book and about Jim Carpenter. And then I've also found his own website, which has a little bio and talks about his clinical practice because he's a clinical psychologist. First, I could make this into a note card that would have this information in it, and we'll put the note card inside of the book cover. So I come here to the Google search page, and this is my actual Google Plus, and I click on Images, and there it is. And now I'm going to put in First Sight by James Carpenter, and I'm going to look for an image that's not on Amazon, because on Amazon it will say like this, click inside. So this is a better image because it just gives you the cover of the book. So I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to save the image, and I'm going to call it First Sight book cover. And this is going into a subdirectory on my computer that is images that I'm keeping for use in Second Life, so I can always go and find it. Lots of other nice things around here too, but this is the one that we wanted. So now that I have that texture saved, I want to upload it to my SL inventory so that I can put it on the book cover. So I'm going to click on the little suitcase, which is my inventory, and I'm going to click on plus, and then on upload, and then I'm going to upload the image to my inventory. And I just have enough lindens left at the moment to do this. And there it is, first sight book cover. I'm not worrying about the copyright for this book cover because I'm giving all the information on the book and how to buy it and how to go find out more about the author and so on. So I'm kind of giving them free publicity, but I'm also doing something good for the patrons of my library. So then you just click on that texture, and there you can see it right there, and you drag it and drop it onto the prim. Now you can see that it's rezzed in on the copy, but it had some situation problems. And I click edit. We want to change the scale. We want to make sure that our image is a 1 and a 1. Oop. So we have 1 for horizontal and 1 for vertical. And now it looks a lot better. Now what I'm going to want to do is go back here. Remember, I want to give it the name. So this is First Sight by Jim Carpenter. And we're going to put this in the recommended books category, and then we want to say show and search. You can also do this thing where you let anybody move it or copy it. I tend not to do that because I'm giving people information rather than giving something they can put up in their own library, but certainly you could do that. You could do an open source kind of little object that people can use in their own libraries. So now in the content we have to decide what we want to put here. We want to put in a note card with all the information that we gathered, and that's what we want to do. Okay, to set up a note card, we're going to click on inventory, and then we're going to go down here to that plus again, and we're going to choose new note card. And it comes up, it says new note, and we're going to write First Sight by James Carpenter. And later on I'll move this into a part of my inventory that has all the stuff for my learning center. Now we want to open that. Whoops, it's open in the background, so we can close the inventory. And here we have it. This is a recommendation for the new book, First Sight by Dr. James Carpenter. Click on the links below to obtain information. Whoops, obtain information. So I have to spell things right. Alright, now I'm going to bring up my Word doc by clicking on it, and I'm going to move it into the frame so you can see it. And then here's the different URLs that I found. So I'm going to put those in here, and I'm going to tell people what they are. I'm going to say copy the following into your browser address bar. Link to buy the book. And that's the first one. Link to the book's website. That's the second one. Link to a review of the book. Oh, I think it was a blog actually. To a Huffington Post article about the book, and link to Dr. Carpenter's website. Not sure what that's about, so we're gonna clean this up a little bit. And then I say save. So now I've got a note card that has all the information that I want a person to be able to get. So I'm going to close that up. I'm going to find it in my inventory. There it is. We're going to open up the books editing frame and move it over, and here it says contents. And we want to move this over into contents. Hopefully it's going in the right place. Yep, there it is. Okay, now our problem is we want to make sure that when somebody clicks on this, they get a script that gives them everything that's in here. So let me show you how to find that. going out to our browser, and we're going to put in www.3greeneggs.com and AutoScript. And this was put together by Dr. Hilary Mason. She is a computer sciences professor, and she made this handy dandy thing that you can use in any open sim based world, Second Life like world. And you can do it in English, French, Deutsch, and I'm not sure what Asian language that is, but anyway, if you recognize it, you know. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to give something to the avatar when they click on our thingy-majiggy, and we want to give them a note card. So you see she's got options: landmark, note card, object, texture. We want to give them a note card. And we want it to happen as soon as the avatar touches the information. You are going to click Make My Script. And there's my script. Okay, now we want to save the script. And we can minimize this. And then we're going to open up the object. And we're going to click on New Script. And it brings up the Hello Avatar script. And then we're going to open the Hello Avatar script. We're going to take out everything that's in there and do Control V for our new script. And here it is, Give Inventory. And it says Detected Key. And then it says Inventory Note Card. And you say Save. Yay, and there it is, and you see Close. Close that up, and now when you put your mouse there, you'll see that it shows that something's going on, right? And then when you click, it says, Your object, First Sight by Jim Carpenter, has given you this note card. First Sight, keep, and you say, yes, keep. And when you say keep, up comes the note card that has these URLs in them, and all you have to do is highlight, do Control-C for save, go out to your browser and do Control-V, and it'll take you immediately to these URLs. And since if you only wanted to give one URL, then you could make a script that just gives that URL, as I have shown in a different tutorial. But in this case, I wanted to give them more information, not only about the book, but about the book's website and about the author. So a note card was the best way to do that. Okay, now we got to move this little guy into the bookshelf forward. You can actually use the indications of where these are, the X, Y, and Z axes, instead of doing it sort of in the Rube Goldberg method, which is how I do it. Now, one of the reasons why I have clicked on that other one is to see what the Z is. So how high are they on the shelf? And that's what I'm going to do for this one, is make it the same. So it's 60.307. So I want to, I'm almost there, 60.307. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to show you a nifty trick. Well, we've got First Sight all done, and it's sitting on the bookshelf, and people can get information about it. But I want to make a new one. Now there's a couple ways to do this. You could take this into inventory. So you click on it, edit, and you click Take Copy. And then when you get that into the inventory, you change it to book cover. And then you've got it in the inventory, and it's kind of all ready for you in terms of it's got the size, it's got the script, and it's got a note card. And you can replace the note card but still use the script. You can change the script if you want to, and then you change the texture. So that's kind of a good idea. Another thing you could do is click Edit on it and then hold down your Shift key, get that little blue guy that goes up and down, and drag a copy to the next shelf. So now you've got a copy of that same size of a book. Title for the new one, call it Advances in Parapsychological Research number 9. That's a new book that just came out. Now we see it says recommended. It's in search. I don't have to do that stuff. We've got all the object definitions here. So I'm moving the texture up, and once again we're going to make a new note card. I actually have one that I made in there and didn't put anything in, so I'm just going to search for it. It's called New Note. I'm going to use this one. This is my empty guy. Alrighty. So I have the new cover on here, and out on my Word doc I have the information about this book. Publisher's website, the table of contents, how to buy it. So out to Amazon. So I'm doing Control-C for my Word doc, Control-B in my note, and here we go. Here are all of the various URLs that you can pick up from this note card. And I'm going to save it. And once it's saved, I want to give it a new name. So I'm going to close it, and I'm going to rename it. So I right-click, and I left-click on Rename, and I write Advances in Parapsychological Research, Volume 9, and there we go. And now we're going to go to that, Parapsych, and that should give us our note card. Let me go down. You can see I have lots of parapsych kinds of things. So we're going to go way, way down to note cards, and there it is. And I'm going to open this up and move this over so you can see it. There's my edit frame. This is something I'm putting into content. So I'm going to take out the old content. This is from the previous book. Remember, I made a copy. And I'm going to move the new note card in. There it goes. And as you'll remember, this script just said give the note card, here it is, give inventory note card out to the person who clicks. So now you've got the new one all set up, ready to go. When you click on it, you get this wonderful little box that says your object named with the name of your book has given you this note card and the name of the note card, and you can keep it or discard it. And if you keep it, then it will open up on your screen. And here's all that information that I put together for the person. If you wanted to write a little review of the book, you could write that and put it in there. If you wanted to give an image to somebody, you could do that, or you could do the both things from the previous display board. We're giving a URL. You could have a script in here that says give all the contents to the individual, and have a URL and a note card that goes out to the individual. So you can put a lot of different kinds of things in here. So once you've done that, you can fill up the bookcase with all the things that you think someone would need if they were interested in your area and wanted to learn more. And it's not too hard, doesn't take too much time. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you. Bye now.